Football isn't just a game, it's a time machine. It takes us back to our childhood, to the days when our biggest worry was keeping our school uniform clean, or if our Jimmy rigged goal out of stolen wood would still be there in the morning. It's a late night debate, it's a heartbreak, an absolute euphoria of naming an absolute legend everyone had forgotten about. And it all starts with that first moment, and then every moment after is a moment you fall in love with the game just a little bit more. So let's talk about what football really means to us. The highs, the lows, and the obsession that keeps us coming back for more. Grab your old fashioned, sit back, and let's rewind to where it all began. Well, for us at least. What's up? All right, so yeah, might as well get started. I know this happened probably last, like 2 weeks ago, maybe, it was our showcase. And met this lad, I'm playing him in the spring, actually, and he just took over a college we were playing against, and we on a chit chat. He's originally from Scotland, and he was like, he played for Rio Grande University in Ohio. And then he'd read my bio somewhere saying I was from North Wales and what have you. And he was just going through people he thought I might knew. And he was like, yeah, I know 2 lads from Anglesey, one from Aberystwyth. Didn't know any of the guys from Anglesey because, that's where I'm from and probably should know him. But as he's going through, he said, oh, Hayden Jones. Oh, yeah, I know Hayden. I used to play for Hayden for Bangor City Reserves. And what it's done for probably the last week or so, at least a week, it's kind of took me like on a little, I don't know, little journey back in the day of football. Do you know what I mean? So, and I was thinking, and Dan and I had a call about it later on. It's a little bit of like football's like a little bit of a time machine. Sometimes it kind of like relocks and unlocks memories, core memories that are filled in. So I thought we could explore that today and just feel of like the emotion and the history and just how powerful, weirdly, football is. Is that too corny? Is it too sentiment?
I think what we're trying to get to is it's been a massive part of our lives. Growing up with it, and essentially it's what's led us to be where we are today. Like out here or in the US, like we all came over one reason or another to play, and then, like 10, 12, however many years later, here we still are.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you guys, why do you think football is so emotional? Like, what do you think makes it so, like, captivating? Bob, I'm going to start with you because I already know your answer, and we'll come back to you. So, Ainty, what you got for me? Why do you think it's so emotional? Why is it, like, why were you attached to this thing?
Am I attached to footy? I think it's because when you're growing up, I guess it's slightly different over here because in the States because of how spread out, teams are. But, when you're growing up, like, you support who your dad supports, and then your dad supports who your granddad supported. And there's just like years and years of supporting a club from way back when that was going to watch games in the stadium, which a lot of the support that you're giving to teams are normally clubs that are local to you and where you live, and it's easy to access and go and see games and things like that. But yeah, when it's passed down through generations of family, you have a serious connection and interest in them teams. I think nowadays it's a little bit, it's not gone away from that per se, but as I said, especially over in the States, like, who's your local team? Everyone wants to support the MLS teams and stuff, but it's so spread out and you're so far away and things like that. Like, it'd be nice to get a culture where you can go and support your local teams and go watch games, have a beer or whatever it is in person. But I think a lot of the passion comes.
I think it's just the simplicity of the game itself. Like, just a ball going into a rectangle thing. And it's so simple to just go down to the park with your mates and try and replicate what you've seen on the weekends or whatever at games. And growing up, we
we all think we can try and do that as a profession. Obviously, we found out we can't. I think it's the simplicity, one ball, jumpers for goalposts sort of thing. Anyone can do it.
Don't know if anyone can do it. I mean,
well,
if you all could do it.
To their level, right? Everyone finds their level, whether it's a five-a-side on a Tuesday night with your mates or in the Premier League on Saturday afternoons.
Yeti, do you think it's changed that much for you from living, well, obviously we live in different countries now, different continents, but like, is it still the same or is it different now?
No, I think it's a bit different now for me. Living back home, it revolved around watching United and going and watching United, you know what I mean? Like trying to get to games and away games and going to the pub watching it with the lads. And like, now I don't do that. Like the love I get from football now is the coaching side, like which I'm fortunate to have. But it's definitely changed in that respect. Like I'm still watching United now, even though we're terrible. But yeah, it was, you go to work, you get your 200, 300 quid a week, you go to the pub or you go to the game, or you know, you can spike up the wall watching United going travelling away and at home. So it's definitely changed in that respect. I don't think that the passion or anything's changed because I'm still pissed off every time we lose right now. So, yeah.
Do you think we get our fix while we've been over here? Our fix is through coaching and playing rather than it's replaced going to games and things like that back in England.
Yeah, I think it definitely helps with the passion you have as an individual. Like pour all my efforts now into coaching and trying to better players that I come across and stuff. And yeah, it definitely goes in a different route.
Bob, you don't coach. What do you think?
Well, I mean, that's probably why I've tried to play a little bit as well, like after, like even for fun. But yeah, I mean, I just can't play for fun. It's just weird. Like, I think the competitiveness from back home and out here is just completely different. I feel like if you were to just go and play seven-a-side back home, everyone's trying, everyone's snapping at each other. You know, no one's playing half-hearted. But out here, people just want to do it for a bit of fun, and they don't really care that much. And I think it's hard to your feelings. But that's one thing I've always wondered, and I've never really understood why back home everyone cares so much more than they do out here. Just across every sport, it's like you go to a game over here, whether it's football, hockey, whatever, and you're mixed in with the other fans. Like you just never be able to do that anywhere else in the world, really. People, yeah, obviously there's going to be trouble every now and then, but could you imagine that back home? Liverpool United trying to play each other and you got a mixture of fans. The game wouldn't finish because it's just be too much trouble.
During the friendly derby, though, don't they? Liverpool Everton, they sit with each other. Everton fans and Liverpool fans sitting next to each other.
There's maybe one that's allowed in, I think. One fella, that's about it.
Someone's on the gate counting the quota. Well, one's in, sorry, you can't come in. I mean, I think it's illegal actually to sell home or away tickets to the opposite. I think you can't do that.
Is it a culture thing? Well, I guess that's my view on it. I think it is a culture thing in the sense that, as Clubber said, like you can go down your local park and you're playing out till back in the day, like just make sure you're home by 5 o'clock for dinner, you know, and you just go down the local park with your mates and have a kick around, and it's just part of everyday life, you know what I mean? Like you go to school, any break,
Volleys, heads and volleys at once.
If it's in lunchtime or snap, whatever it is, you got 10, 15 minutes, you're playing heads and volleys, you're playing footy, and it's just everything you do. It's always around.
You're definitely right, but I also reckon that it's going away from that in England as well now. Like obviously we're a little bit out of touch of it. We're older, but even kids now, I don't think it's quite the same that they do just drop their bags and just go straight to the park and play. It's definitely a little bit different. Everything's becoming much more structured in England as well. Like having parents driving to places. I think even in terms of like going to the games and stuff like that, I think it is becoming a lot more, especially like in the Premier League, it's becoming a lot more, just say like friendly because people are being priced out of it. People are being priced out of it with like the ticket prices going up, and it's like not the working man's game anymore that it might have been even when we were, younger, when we were teenagers and that, like it's shut up.
Mark, you kind of started with your back in my day kind of stuff. So tell me, Mark, one moment that you can recall real quick that has like a really good feeling, whether you be playing, watching local football, or would be just, jumping to a goalpost. One really good like moment that takes you back to football that really makes you happy.
Probably one of the best games I ever went to was Liverpool against Chelsea in the Champions League in 2007, the one where we won on penalties. Just like thinking of that, being in the crowd that day, like such a tense game between Mourinho's Chelsea, Benitez's Liverpool. Obviously going all the way to penalties and Liverpool pulling it out to get to the final against the unbelievable Chelsea team back then as well. That was like one of my favorite memories for sure. That one of the best games that I've ever been to. Honestly, it's the thing I miss probably the most about living out here. Other than my family and stuff, of course. Anyone's watching. But yeah, it's a thing I miss the most, like going to the games.
Yeah, what about you? Is yours on that level? You got anything more grassroots for us, or what do you have?
So, living in a council estate back home, I was fortunate to have like two best mates who I used to play with live like real close to me. And then we inherited obviously more players as we went on, but we got these new fences built on the back of our house, and we stole a load of the wood one day and built squared goals, like dug holes, put them in the ground. I used my granddad's drill and screws. We made these big massive square nets. They were well good, and he gave us like this green netting that he used to have on his allotment, and we fucking cable tied that together, zip tied it all together. Best 3 days of my life, because we came back from school one day and they were fucking knocked down.
I was about to say 3 days of that.
The council come round and knocked him down because we stole all the wood. We was like 14 years old. But then that put us into like, we bought them, remember them Samba goals?
Yeah.
We bought one of them, and we keep them in my back garden or my mate's back garden and pull them out every night, and we put them on the grass right behind my house. There's this like a little 5-a-side size field behind my house. It was sick. And we played Champions League. We'd narrate everything. We'd be like United against fucking Besiktas in the Champions League. And if you scored or you went 1-0 up, you put the ball wide, it was 1-1. Keeper makes a save. And if it finished like first to three, so if you were 3, you get 3 points, you're top of the group. If it finished 2-2, you get a point. So then we just play that for fucking hours on end.
Yeah. I was going to say on the back of that, we got to talk about red arse heads and volleys.
Oh, mate, what some games then? Some games.
Well, before we start with that, I just want to like real quick. I think this is going to happen, and this is not just football, but when you like think back and recollect, like you were saying, the goals you built were well good. I bet you were the absolute wank, mate. But it just remember the good feelings that go along with it, and you think, oh, it was class, and it was like falling apart.
There was this one tree, and we just stuck everything to that tree, and it was like built these box nets off this one tree. It was sick. It was so good.
How good was it playing with nets though? Like over here, they have nets everywhere, but like you put a net out for a week back in England, and it gets robbed.
Yeah, you want a screamer, it goes through the post. You have to chase after it half a mile down the field to go get the ball back.
Playing heads and balls, you actually pinged one. Gone.
It is weird back then.
Was it really worth it?
Put your own nets up before every game. And,
I used to get on each other's shoulders, right?
What's all that about? Like, you're only fucking nets. It costs a couple.
Electric tape.
Yeah. In Europe, they had went to France a few times. They had the goals by nets, just in public places. I think it might have been genuinely only England.
Yeah, because we're
scumbags. Didn't have any nets, and you had to put them up.
Look at this.
I went back home over the winter, and what I did see was I saw kids playing Wally, against the wall, just smashing the ball against it, and that was good to see. That your kids are still playing Wally, still knocking a ball about wherever they can.
I think it's gonna be funny. Like we're all gonna be like council estate lads playing Wally, playing 9 Lives, Red Ass. And then you got James traveling Europe. Oh, I was in Monaco, and they had nets up on there, so I could still play.
I think
my dad rented the Parc de France.
Yeah, rented it out for us to have a 5-a-side football game.
Yeah, that was the San Siro. That was
good. Yeah. Club, well, people who are listening don't understand. What's your rules for Wally? What is a game of Wally? I just call that 9 Lives.
Is it Spot? Same
That's
thing
what
as Spot.
I was thinking.
On the fuck spot.
Well, let's see what Clubly says that Wally is, and we'll see if it's the same game.
It's an unlimited amount of people that can play it. One ball, you need a flat wall or a flat surface to smash a ball against, and everyone gets 1 life, or you can have 3 lives. And you got to kick the ball as hard as you can or as soft as you can against the wall, and it has to hit the wall for you to stay.
No other option is harder to end up to soft.
Smash it.
Leather it.
That's
The ball has to keep moving, though, right?
Yeah, if the ball has to keep moving, if the ball stops on your turn, it's game over. You lose a life.
Yeah, you're out.
Or if you miss the wall, you lose a life.
Is it hard to bounce once?
You can bounce as many times as you want.
No, it
Yeah, it can
depends.
like roll.
Is that the
It could be like 30 yards away.
Frodsham rules, Trainee?
Made it tougher, didn't we? Made it
Yeah,
tougher.
that's the same as what Spot is. It's just like every time you mess up, I'm trying not to swear as much on this one. Every time you mess up, you get a letter.
Yeah.
So if you mess up the first time, you get the S. So it's like, what did they play? Horse over X.
The best
Oh,
part,
yeah.
the best part is when it's like rolling really slow, really close to the wall, and you can absolutely leather it on an angle, and it fucks off down the street or something.
We used to do the same thing, but we had like posts. There was like drain pipes. You'd have to hit it between the drain pipes.
Build those too.
Oh, I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
No, they had barbed wire on so no one could steal them.
Mark, you can't spell horse in Whittle, no.
Nah. That's too fun.
So we played 9 Lives. We played 9 Lives where, like, obviously at 9 lives, if you missed a wall or whatever, you'd lose a life. But we had a weird wall that had, like, you'd go around the corner. So the ball went around the corner, you'd have to find a way to bounce off a different wall or whatever to hit the wall.
Trigonometry to play that game.
Listen, I
But he had 9 lives.
I didn't want to get into too much coaching in this, but like that, people don't think about how they kick the football here at all. Like the amount of times I played 9 lives thinking of how to get this ball around the corner and to do this or spin, bounce, whatever.
Yeah.
It just doesn't exist here at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's you coaching with your mates basically together. You're not purposely doing it. You're just learning.
100%.
Yeah,
And you have to work it out.
it could be that general. Like this, there's definitely people who are, as obsessed with it over here. But I get what you're saying. It's not as common as it.
No.
Like I'm sure, like you lads definitely coach some young lads who are obsessed with it, who like watch it all the time. Because I always say, like, I learned most of the. I was never really properly coached as a kid. I learned most of the game from either watching it or honestly playing FIFA.
All right, lads. Wish me luck. Here we go. Bob, what moment do you have?
What?
What moment? What positive moment do you have? What connects you with football?
Yeah, I think like growing up, we had a park outside our little flat, and you just kind of go out there and you play until it's dark, and you get called in like by your parents. Like, I just remember coming in like absolutely filthy, just running around, slide tackling, just like in each other. Like, no one wants to go in as well. Like, you've been out there for hours, and it's like tea time or. Or it gets dark, and it's like there's no like real structure to what you're doing, is it? You just kind of go out there, and as you're playing, like more people just kind of come and join. People see you playing out there, and they'll be like, "Oh," well, they'll be like walking past, and they'll be, "Oh, come and join in." And you're like, sometimes you'll have those nights where it's like you just went out with 1 or 2 lads for a little kick around, and you end up in like 11v11 match, and you go home after, and you're like, "Oh, it was fucking sick that way, isn't it?"
That's where you get better though, as well. That's where you develop playing with people of all different ages. It could be 7 years old playing against 12-year-olds, twice your height, twice your weight, and it's like how you learn the game.
Like the old classic year 7s versus year 7s versus year 11s, in it?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
And you go and steal the ball until they played you.
We made our mate a keeper. We made him into an unbelievable goalkeeper. We used to put him in net all the time. I'll call it James Boyd, top keeper. There's 2 things about him. He used to play. As soon as we come on, we put him in net, and he was unreal. Like shot stopping wise, unreal. Yep. But He would get lobbed from like 3 yards out.
Absolutely bullied a child to become a goalkeeper.
100%. It was great. Time of my life.
Matey, what's your favorite moment as a player? Like whilst playing in a game, what's your favorite moment? You're like, oh, this is
Favorite
good.
moment?
Yeah.
Can I say mine was my favorite
Yeah,
moment
Mark.
of
So,
80s?
Mark.
My
Listen,
favorite moment of 80s
wait.
is when he got absolutely
I want to
volleyed
hear
in the
Mark's
chest
first.
last summer playing a friendly coach game. Just while he's thinking, that was my favorite moment of 80s.
I'm trying to think now.
All right.
Obviously, well, it wasn't exactly my funniest moment getting levelled in the chest in an over 30s friendly. I literally still got the indentation of the Nike logo straight across my chest here. I think it was.
This one even
I
have a
think it was when I was playing for Witten Albion. I was in the reserves, and one of the games was I was on a Wednesday night, but it was like 3 hours away, which is like unheard of for England, right? Everything's like so close. You never have a game that's that's more than an hour away normally. But this game was 3 hours away, and it was short on players. And obviously school night, no one was traveled 3 hours, so I went and played. It was pissing down with rain, and on obviously a grass field, no turf or anything like that. And I absolutely loved the challenge. Absolutely loved the challenge. And them conditions, I remember it because it was my first game, nervous as anything. But I remember the first thing I did, ball's been played over the top, I'm recovering. I've just absolutely munched this lad. I've won the ball cleanly, and I'm like, okay, like nerves are gone, pissing down the rain, super muddy, boggy field, and I'm like, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Under the lights, in the dark, this is what it's all about. So, I mean, that definitely sticks in my memory as one of the core memories from a playing experience. So, but yeah.
That's a good one. Yates, you got a mad moment in football. Like what I have actually, before see if it jogs me memory. You have a think, Yates. You want to tell the story, but when I was in the US for the second time, I flew home we fly home usually in October, November-ish time, right of the year. And a friend of mine, Steve Hughes, he lived in Western Rin, and which is like outside Odd Street, south of Wrexham kind of area. I phoned home and he's picked me up from the airport, and I've signed for Western Rin in like one of the lowest English leagues, and signed as Robert Rowlands. Played one game. Like I flew into Manchester on a Friday, woke up, played that Saturday morning as Robert Rowlands, scored an own goal, gave away a penalty, and got sent off. Just a horrible game. I remember his dad came up to me and said, "Fucking hell, Polly, you're shit." And then got in the car, drove back to Anglesey, and then signed for Cameron Park the next day under Jason Edwards. I just never got a chance for it.
Blame on the jet lag.
I remember I don't know about you guys, but growing up, if it was like a big like cup final or something like that, you'd have orange slices or something at half time or Lucasades and stuff, right? Try and get the sugar levels back up. And we made the final one year, and it was like a big deal. So all the parents like chipped together, and we ended up going to like this hotel basically, and they put us on a full English breakfast, right? So they put us a full English breakfast, like a big deal, like big game, cup final. There we go. So we went and had this full English breakfast. We played the game. No one could move because everyone had a massive stitch, and we lost 4-0. It was an absolute travesty. And we had the orange slice at half time. So everyone got like 17 sausages, chicken, eggs, hash browns. Like, you're not going to turn down free brekkie. Lost 4-0. Played the same team the week after, beat them 5-0. Absolute nightmare in a cup final.
How old were you then?
Well,
How old are you?
well, I've been about
Last week.
What's been about 13, 14 maybe.
Load of 12-year-old lads sitting down having a full brekkie in an hotel.
Brekkie in a hotel.
Have you suits on as well? You know, Liverpool
Oh
lost
my
that
God.
final where they had those cream suits on.
Oh, that was fucking funny though.
What a smart idea was that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so you got a story for me, what?
Yeah, there's a few, but one that was funny for me.
Hold on, before you start, Bob, you're next.
Got plenty of stories, right?
All right, Yates, keep going, lad.
Yeah, so when I went to watch, I think I was 16 or 17 at the time. I went to watch under 14s play. You know, those like mates on that team, and the keeper didn't turn up. So I had to go in net. I had to play under another lad's name as a 14-year-old. I had no boots, no shin pads. No one had any spares. So I went in net in my trainers. I had to put cardboard in the socks for shin pads, sorry. And then we lost 7-0.
Would it have been 15? Did you make the saves?
I made 2 really good saves. The rest was shite.
Yates the cat.
And everyone was like, fuck's sake, Yates. I was like, I'm not a fucking keeper.
Horrible going in goal.
Yates is crap.
Yates is talking about putting his mate in goal. He said, we made him a class keeper. He didn't have a choice. We threw him in. He was hating it. He's hating every minute of it.
That was my repercussion for throwing Bardi in the net all those fucking years.
Yeah.
Go on, Bob.
I got one memory that kind of sticks out. And I think it kind of like happens a lot when you're like at home. Like I think Mark was playing in the game actually. I think we've talked about this before, where like I actually just went to watch a game. Like a few of my mates were playing in it. It was just like Sunday league or Saturday league. I don't even know what it was. For Colin Jones's team, it was one of the Neston. They weren't Nomads. I think it was one of the Neston teams that broke off. Might be when I was in Cyprus actually, and I'd kind of gone home. I've just gone to watch the game, and it's going towards the end of the game, and it's like 2-2, I think. And I know the manager, and he looks around at me and he's like, "You got your boots with you or anything like that?" I was like, "No, mate, I've just come to watch." And he's like looking around, trying to get me a pair of boots because I don't know if they had any subs or I don't know. So anyway, he got me a pair of boots and that, and he's like, "All right, go on, last like few minutes and that." So I've run on and like won a penalty within a minute, 90th minute. So I'm looking around and thinking like someone's going to take this. Like no one wants to take it. Everyone's looking at me like, "Go on, take it." Absolutely dragged it into the corner. Shit, Pedro, proper shit, but it's gone in somehow. But I think that's one thing that always sticks with me. Just getting thrown on for a couple of minutes, winning a pen, and then scoring it. It's such a good feeling, that, isn't it? Like, but I think it's just funny back home, isn't it? Because it's always just go on and play. Like, you're not signed on or anything like that. But like, if you get a yellow card, your name's Mark Bentley or something.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
First one I've ever
Gaffer,
got.
what's my name today, Gaffer? Who am I today?
Yeah.
Remember that game, Mark?
Yes. Yeah, I was playing that game.
They didn't even do that if you had like 4 yellow cards. Hey, if you get booked, you're not Roberto Whitley, right? You're Tom Clubley. That's what you had to do.
We still do that.
You
We
know,
did that in the over 30s, didn't we? With Feiny.
No hamsters were harmed in the making of this video.
Fainty, did you use my name when you played over 30?
Yeah. I'll use your picture as well.
Good. I'm glad they're coming to Mark or Tom. Anybody have like butterfly moments in football? Like, I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head if I've got a story, but like a real like butterfly moment playing.
Not play, well, playing them.
Oh, you and watching or whatever.
Yeah, something that sticks out straight away was we went on a school trip, like footy team trip to Old Trafford to watch the England-Greece game, the World Cup qualifier in 2001, and we were sat behind the goal where Beckham scored that free kick, and just the euphoria when that went in. Obviously, all with your schoolmates, with your footy mates, and watching that goal go in, it's just absolutely huge.
That's class.
Yeah, it's like iconic, that.
I think I still have the ticket. I kept the ticket, and I think my mum or dad put it in a frame, so I think it's back in England still.
Such a big moment because Beckham was going through all kinds of shit, wasn't he? Like, did he get dropped from captaincy or got like he shaved his head and he was all
That
rogue?
was the kit when they had probably didn't talk about kits, but that's the England kit when they had the red stripe go through.
Yeah.
That was wild, nice, that kit.
Yeah.
I thought it was one. Bob, you go.
Yeah, we talked about it this weekend. I can't really think of anything like when I was a kid, but we were talking about how like kids now who are playing, like they've got all the footage like available to them. Like how good would it have been to have like all the goals we've scored in our careers,
Scored some
you know,
worldies.
on video? Yeah, and like obviously, I think thinking back to them, you think they were so much better than probably what they actually were.
Yeah.
But the only one for me, and Yates might be able to clip it in as well, was the header I scored for Point Park.
They're going to get a kick, but Diaz is going to kick it in. There's the kick. They get headbutted. And then it's going in. Oh, he got it go in. We don't know. It looks like and it did. It went in. 10:39 left.
To tie it up against West Virginia Tech. Like, didn't know whether it crossed the line or not, but that was probably like one of my favorite moments in recent memory. I know the commentator, the best part about it, and I don't think you'll get copyrighted on it, but the commentator called it a headbutt as well.
Remember that?
He's headbutted it.
And Bentley scores with a headbutt.
What are you going to talk about the header that you nicked off me in that one game?
Oh yeah, that one as well.
I
Got robbed of my first ever college goal.
Right, someone's crossed the ball and me and Mark have gone for it. Like, I'm nowhere near it. Mark's headed it in. Commentator's like, oh, Roberto Willie with the goal.
The only other thing I can think about is that so after I came back after I had my brain surgery, I had to wear one of those Petr Cech score caps. So the amount of shit I used to get on a Sunday morning wearing one of those for a few months was rough.
Playing in the Birkenhead.
Yeah, with a skull cap on it. It's not fucking rugby, you know.
Such weird people.
We played against some horrible teams.
That's the culture, isn't it? Like we spoke about
straight away.
Yeah, no one gets.
I knew I was here for it as well. I knew I was gonna get it.
Yeah, no one gets any slack whatsoever.
To the point of Mark about video recording, I think all the best goals I've ever scored is for the over 30s. And Mark might be the only person who's ever seen all my goals, so it's just
Without
so
retirement,
first
Jake.
consistent. Nobody knows I ever scored a goal. Probably.
That one you scored from the halfway line, it came down with snow on it, and then somehow it
Don't know why you're making jokes. But I got
volleyed up in the air. There was about 60-mile-an-hour winds that day. It just carried it. The keeper had no idea what was going on. Nestled into the top corner.
I don't even know if I was sober or not, but like I got on halfway. I have no business running any further. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to just clip this in the hopes of God it goes in because I am out of breath. And just for a good story, I think how football set up at home too is that you don't get, kind of like when I was asking them for those butterfly moments, really, because I know Tom kind of mentioned it in terms of watching the Beckham. I mean, that's a massive goal, that is. I mean, that's a, for me, for to appreciate it. But I remember, for me, I think my butterfly moment, and it's such a weird one. I'd be interested to see what you guys think of this, but like growing up, kind of like Dan at a council estate, but across the road from Mum's house, it still is there now because she still lives in the same place, is the village football pitch. Like I could just stand in front garden and I'd ping balls over the hedge into the field and then ping them back. And then, so growing up, Paul, we never watched football. I'm like, 2 hours away from a major city. So I was from Liverpool, 2 hours away from Manchester or anywhere to have decent football. So that was like my Premier League football. Like that's where I watched most of my football, men's football, fifth tier of Welsh football, bottom of the bottom. And the team we had were half decent, actually. I think they won the Anglesey League a few times. So I always wanted just to like play for that team for the longest time ever. And as I grew up, turns out I'm half decent in football. Never played for them coming out of youth football. I ended up going to different teams, played at a higher level, I should say. Not in abundance, but I can put it down on the CV that I played at a higher level, right? And then I ended up getting hurt, whatever, and it comes back down to where I actually play for the village team. Like it kind of like they get up the leagues, I go down the leagues, and we kind of meet. And I signed for this team. They never play me for the longest time. The gaffer gets sacked because I transferred. I couldn't leave the team, so I had to stay there and play. And new gaffer comes in. I end up playing, but he has to like save the team because everybody's leaving. So he's just recruiting absolutely anybody. So the gaffer even becomes a player manager. He plays beside me, a centre back. Like he was just desperate for players, right? And he gets this guy that I used to watch all the time playing centre half. His name is Gwyn Jones, and he got him out of retirement. Yeah, he's dead Welsh. Yeah, gets him out of retirement, and then he ends up playing centre back next to me. And at first, I was like, yeah, whatever. You're walking the change room that day for that game, and
How old are you at this point?
I might have been 18, 19. So I walk in, and Jason Edwards 5, Gwyn Jones 4, whatever it is. So we're playing side by side, really think about it. And then got changed, gone through the warm up, do the routine. And as we walked out of the change room for the game, like, I'm walking onto the pitch and he's on the field ready. And he's like, all right, Jace, we'll do a good job. Nothing stupid, blah, blah, blah. And I just had this weird, sounds so stupid saying it, but I had this weird, butterflies moment happening because, like, this is it. Like, even though I played at a high level, like, this is the moment, like, I've always wanted to play for this team with him at centre back on this field. Oh my God. And I'm like, I always think, like, it's so cheesy, but like, I don't think people can have those crescendos, like, in America. Do you know what I mean? Like, having that great moment of, like, I've been doing this for 10-something years, and it finally all comes together to a moment, which is like, I don't know. Is it weird? I think it's solid sometimes, but it's good.
How did the game
Nice
go?
story, that, Jace.
Thanks. I was worried you guys didn't like it.
That is good.
Yes.
Lost 7-0, Yates was in that.
Gwyn Jones, the most Welsh name of. I think you made that up.
Jace, that wasn't the game you went down that hillside, was it?
No, that was for Banking University, that was.
I remember you telling me that story. That's fucking.
That's a good story as well. That's not to be repeated, really. Well, we'll get another one.
Does everyone remember their first pair of boots?
Not my first, but I know my favourite.
Yeah. So, Bill the Deans and Yates.
Mine were knockoffs.
I think first pair like fucking Patrick's or something. I don't know. But,
Yeah.
Yes.
Patrick's are great.
The grey and the red, 2005, total 90 with the fucking 90 on the side.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they was unreal.
I remember
were
saving my
Like Rooney, I think there was like the Rooney boot, like
Yeah.
he prototyped them kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
I used to do a paper round when I was like,
What, in them?
Fucking sprint and throwing the throw.
Split it on concrete.
Fucking
You know-
all over your face.
speaking of concrete, I saved all that paper round leads by Predator Manias, the 2002 ones, and walking on concrete with those metal blades, they're about 2 inches long or whatever. Scrubbing them
Deadly.
up. Yeah. You can use to you got like a little tool to like change out and swap out the blades when they got low and stuff like that. Or we played against like a team like Cuddington, Fainty, where they had kids who sharpened their blades before you played against them.
Those are really tough paper rounds. It's 8 times early, 26.
Uphill into the wind.
When did obviously the blades was a big ordeal with player safety, right? And they ended up getting rid of them. I can't remember what year. Anyone know what year that was that they started to go away from people being able to wear blades? It wasn't just people being hurt from them, like being tackled by them. It's also like wearing them as well. Like I broke my leg whilst wearing them because obviously we play on terrible fields where it's all muddy and sticky. But those blades, I think it jumped up for a header, landed, obviously the blades stick in the mud, and then my body turned and, snap, see you later. But yeah, I think that's another reason why, because they just didn't have any give whatsoever while you're playing with them.
Just a Google, and it said the mid-2000s.
They got bolt. I wonder if, I know Tom, you said there was a tool that you could take off blades, with the blades on them. I wonder if there was ever a time where they sold like plastic versions of the blades. Was that a thing? Was that ever a thing? Well, they just did they? Just turned into more.
Yeah, I've had some of that.
Because I was looking online before, I'm all the, classic boots from back in the day, the F50 plus, the obviously Gerard Preds and all that, and obviously a lot of them are blades, right? So I was like, so what I'd love to buy a pair of old school boots. Yeah. And just take out the metal blades and replace them with plastic ones. Be absolute big time.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if you could. I didn't know if you could do that or they sold them.
I mean, I feel like it did. I mean, they definitely sold them with, like Mark said, with molds because I remember the first Preds I bought. I was older. I had those orange and black Preds. Had a tongue on it and everything, and they were moldies. But I remember first game I ever won them, doing a shooting drill, just pinging the ball over this fence into a bowling green. And I've jumped the fence to go and get the ball back, and my straps caught on the top of the fence and snaps it. And I was like, Jesus, I've pinged one ball with it. Then
Elastic goes on the tongue. It's like no go.
knotted.
Yeah.
How many times would you have they get a new ball, nice new ball, you go play at the park and you kick it and it goes into a tree and gets a thorn in it and bursts and that, like fucking well annoying that.
What was your favorite ball as a kid?
I think the ones that they're using now in the Prem, those style, the like 3 total 90 ones were unreal.
Yeah, there we go.
Either that or the 2000, 2001. Yeah, I'd like the little quadrant shape on it, black and white. It was so nice.
The ones using in Prem now, the lines around the ball. When you caught that ball on a half volley and you just watch the ball spin and the lines go across, you know you're getting nicely, and you just watch it fly through the air. That's
so good.
Obviously, classic. Well, remember the jambalaya ball, or whatever you want to call it. Jubilani. Was it the Jubilani?
Jambalaya, is that a dish?
Jambalaya. Jambalaya. He's kicking a sausage and rice.
Bit of gumbo, yeah. I saw a video about that ball today where the ball was too round, which meant the air interacted with it differently. So yeah, that's why it wobbled. So that's why they have like creases in them now and more texture to the balls. So that actually.
Well, I thought it was to do with how the amount of like patches that they have, like because those ones they had like massive patches on them, didn't they? So like
yeah, like it was just the aerodynamics. It was just less drag. And I saw that Adidas, they went to like NASA to talk about it because you don't really see the knuckleballs anymore, do you? This year,
when that Jubilani came out, keepers were complaining.
The ball was just moving,
weren't they? The 2002 World Cup ball. Remember it was like with the grey, red, gold triangle looking thing.
I had that one. And I loved it because I used to go out, like after watching all the games in the World Cup, used to go out and recreate them in the back garden. But I was looking at it today because I thought I love that ball, but it I don't know, it definitely wasn't the best one.
That ball when it got wet because the padding was so
thick
on
so heavy, waterlogged this.
Well heavy.
That when you smash it, one of them in a cold day, mate.
Well, it was the early late 90s. It was like the mitre balls that we used to use. We were talking about this the other night, weren't we? You had plastic ones that you'd use for practice, and then you'd have like 2 or 3 padded ones for the games that were just absolutely unreal to strike.
The Mitre Ultimax, mate. What a ball.
Those training ones, though, when it got cold in November and you went to smash them or you got them right off your thigh, the imprint would be there for weeks.
They break your foot.
I still get shivers like thinking about that feeling, either having kicked the ball or getting caught with one. Blocking a shot, yes.
Wow.
To Bobby's notion of get a new ball and get a thorn into it. I remember going to Lanzarote on holiday. I must have been like 12, 13, maybe. Nah, not it's 12, 13. Convinced my mum to buy me a Champions League ball at the Adidas store, the sports store there. And I got it back to the resort. Fucking kicked the one straight into a cactus. Boom, gone. Fuming. She was absolutely fuming.
I remember when me and my brother used to go to Spain in the summer, and our dad would always give us some money, and there was like a massive like sports shop there, and we'd always go in. And I remember one year we got like one of the like official like Prem ones, like however much they are, like over 100 quid. And like the same thing happened to us. Like you bring it home, you like buzzing to go out and play with it, and like pop it like first or second time you playing with it. It's like what a waste of money that was. Just absolutely devastating.
Jace, it sounds like you've got a shit shot. Like you get brand new boots and you put it over the bar and it goes onto the bowling green. You get brand new ball and you twat it and it goes into a cactus.
Is there like cactus in the middle of the desert?
Yeah.
He wasn't even abroad. He was in Wales.
Mate.
Found the cactus in Wales.
absolutely pinged it over. Oh shit! Suck. On a serious note,
Real.
I wasn't
success.
even like shooting at nothing on Andrade because I remember, I can't remember, like vaguely remember walking down the path from my room to like the open spot, and there was just, like a bend in the pathway, and then in the corner was like 2 or 3 cactuses. So I'm like literally just like juggling the ball or whatever, and I just
You cactus in London are out here, Jason managed to find it.
nice ball that was. Yeah, really good feel to it. Well, I was going to ask you guys your favorite boots you've ever played in. So Yatesy gave me 2 cents. He told me about his Total 90s. Though I wear them for practice. I used to have them for practice a long time, and I lost them somewhere. Silver ones, all the tiny little studs underneath.
What were the Nike
mine were
ones?
Total 90s as well, but different ones. Sorry, Tom, cut you off.
Like there was Nike ones that had like a white stripe down the heel. They Tiempos.
And
Black
here's
and white
maybe
ones.
I had a pair of Total 90s, but the ones I had were, I think they were a little bit after the ones that Dan's talking about. And yeah, they had like the circles on like the
front
on the top,
front.
and
Yeah.
the laces were like underneath them. So it was like if you strike a ball well with one of those, like it
Was it like the T360s or something they called something like that? Total 90
the Total 90
360s.
lasers, I think they were.
Labels,
Yeah,
that might be.
You know what? I've always had, still have big, fat, clumsy feet. So the ones for me are always Puma Kings or the Coppers, Copper Mundial. Like, I always used to love the look of, the slimline Nikes, the Preds. Fat feet could never fit in them. So I was strictly Puma Kings or, Coppers.
Always Preds with the tongue. Had to have the elastic on the tongue. There was one pair of boots, the F50 pluses. They're the ones that are like, it was like red and silver, or like black and silver, and they look like spider web almost on them.
Yeah.
I wanted a red and silver pair so bad.
Oh mate, an F150.
Fast as fuck.
50 tunets. I used to love them. Just getting all the studs and changing them out for all different rainy days and stuff, thinking I'm something.
That was
They had
was
those like
everyone's-
little. You could see through the side of them as well a little bit. There's like a little see-through patch on those too.
Yeah,
I used to spend, IT class at school, like, on the computers and stuff. Like, I think 90% of that was spent on Roberto Baggio free kicks playing that game. If you remember, like I say, going on Nike or Adidas and making your own boots.
mate. On that point, we're gonna go way off topic here because I know this is a belter. On that point, an IT class, and you go on Jogger Bonito, and all those videos were absolutely class.
Yeah.
I dare
That's
anyone.
what that was.
Oh, mate. The one where Ronaldinho gets his boots delivered in a suitcase and he does that crossface thing.
Yeah.
And the whole vibe of Eric Cantona, mate.
Some of those old adverts were unreal, weren't they?
So good.
What was that one where it was like,
One in the airport.
no, well, that was a good one as well, but the one where it was like,
Have you?
he's got like a body cam on and you're like basically on the field with him and it's like with all the players. And I think it's just like,
Oh, is it like a career?
no, I think it was just advert. I think it was just a random person and he's playing with like, and he gets, I remember like in the video, but you like feel like you're on the field with him and it's everyone's like playing in it and like, he gets tackled by someone, I think, gets knocked over or something like that. I'll have to try and find it.
I remember when you were talking about Yatesy because I just remember Edgar Davids being in it, and he's like on the phone walking through the airport doing kick-ups.
Mate, that airport one was my favourite. It was so fucking good.
I used to love the cage one when I think it's Eric Cantona drops the ball in the cage and it's 1v1 with like everything Henry, Ronaldo,
Yeah.
Drogba.
Ronaldinho's move on.
Even I think the one iconic one had us going was the Olé one, Brazil with Portugal around the stadium.
Yeah, so fucking good.
Olé, dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
So good.
Fainty, what boots you wearing?
Right now.
Yeah.
We've got none on right now. But
It'd be made up if you just put his feet up then and he was wearing a
Oh,
pair of Preds.
I had a pair of Preds on.
Taking it well serious.
you should,
Shinnies.
Yeah, Preds are I had a few pairs, black and red, white and blue, red and white. Yeah, I was just obsessed with the tongue over the laces, the elastic tongue.
I'm sure there's a lot of choices in North Monaco. Tom, what are you wearing?
Yeah, mine were probably Predamanias or accelerators or something like that.
I went through a couple. I played a lot, mostly in my corporate as an adult. But I remember one year as a centre half, I was wearing Nike Vapors,
Yeah, I was going to say you can't wear that
Um,
when you
baby blue.
as a defender.
I did that one year.
What do I think?
The Ronaldo R9 Ronaldo's Vapors that when they first came out, I wore them.
Vapors, yeah.
I had the fattest feet in the world, and I wore them like 5 times, and the bottom snapped. Well, I'm not fucking wearing them anymore. Don't.
To rock up at a weekend, didn't you? And someone, it'd always be a little tricky winger with skinny as anything, wearing bright pink or orange boots.
White
like
boots,
he's
yeah.
getting munched. He is getting absolutely munched today.
That was
First thing you look for.
that was me for a little while. I think when I was like 18, I had the bright orange F50s, and it was like playing in men's league and that, and they're just like snap him. Like as soon as you get the ball, you just get like nailed.
The only thing I had the only way I pulled it off to wear those Merco Vapors is because I was rapid. Otherwise, I had no business wearing them.
You were rapid.
It's
Well, that's me, mate.
mate, it's faster as a Ford F-150, this one.
In eighth gear, whilst towing all this baggage. I haven't been like this for all my life. Like, what are you talking about?
I know. I just thought you were more of a midfield general. You know, just sat and patrolled, box to box, powerful. Didn't realize you were rapid winger.
I'm insulted, even though you try to cover that really well. I'm still very insulted. Just so you know, apparently, we're gonna get you cancelled.
Do you think that's why you play as such an angry person today, just from all those years of being ensnapped as a winger?
Maybe. I mean, when I was younger, to be fair, I was like a lot skinnier and that, so I used to get pushed around a little bit. But now I like to give it back a little bit.
On some poor 44-year-old playing pickups. 20 corner.
Yeah, when's that coming on?
Put the jingle on.
Took the features corner where the game's on. Guess the old lineup, let's get it on. From the pitch to the stars who played that day. Test your memory in a fun way.
Mixing it up a little bit here with Faity's Corner. So obviously they talked a lot about nostalgia and way back when. So I am going to read the name of a team out. I'm going to read the years in which this team wore a particular kit. I want you to tell me what the sponsor was on the shirt of said kit. I do have some sort of multiple choice answers if you guys need them, but I'm sure you guys won't. So we're going to start off nice and easy. So Newcastle United, between the years 1990 and 2000. Can you tell me what their sponsor was?
Newcastle Brown Ale.
Yeah, it's probably Brown Ale.
Nuki Brown.
Nuki Brown is the correct answer. 1 out of 1. 1990 and 2009, Bolton.
That's a long time, that.
Reebok? No.
No, that was the sponsor.
Yeah, but I feel like that's something.
What? You know?
It was the Reebok Stadium, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not
Not
the
the
sponsor. Then let's think of Ivan Campo. What did he have? Stelios. Kevin Nolan, Kevin Davis.
JJ Koch is standing in the field, and he has.
Go on, give us the multiple choice options.
The multiple, it is a brand. So
It is
you were
Reebok.
right on. Yeah, you were right on cue. The brand was.
Why do you
Reebok.
say that then, you fucking
Reebok.
idiot?
Well, you
He
all,
said it
well,
right.
I was letting
Said
you
it straight
alone.
up.
Yeah, I'll let you talking, but
I said Reebok, didn't I?
Yeah, you said it right away.
well, just making you sweat a little bit.
Quizmaster, you.
Make you think. Next one, 2000 to 2003, Leeds United.
Strongbow.
The strong.
Strongbow, correct. 1987 to 2001, Leicester City.
Walkers.
Walkers, if
What?
it's that one.
It's like Lay's. That's
Walkers is the correct answer.
It's too
Lays.
American. Too American, you love.
What's it?
Lays.
So I was going to say Lay's because I can picture the brand symbol.
To the point of them.
1999 to 2002.
Very good.
That's
Dreamcast.
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 Dreamcast was the correct answer.
Not on their away kit, it was Sega.
Well, that's it. That was the same. Would have been the same thing, wouldn't it? Sega
It was like
Dreamcast.
Sega on the front. I only know that because my
On the
favorite
yellow.
game. Yeah, on the yellow.
Dreamcast was a console. Sega.
1993 to 1995, Aston Villa.
Martins.
That's West
Dr.
Ham.
Martins.
Incorrect.
Was it a paint?
He was
was it a paint
confident. He
company?
was confident.
Confident with that one.
No, it's not a paint company now.
Dr. Martins was West Ham, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
Maybe
What
I'm not
year
West
say?
Times.
I'm
Early
not telling you.
2000s.
Otherwise you'll Google it.
Oh, what year? 99 to
What's
2000
his
what?
hand over here, type it.
Yeah, in it, I can see it there, right there. 93 to 95, Aston Villa.
Give us options.
Yeah. So the brand is a yogurt type of yogurt.
Yeah, like
Muller.
Oh.
Muller
Not
is
play.
the correct answer. Muller is the correct answer. Yeah. 1994 to 1997, Chelsea.
Me. Well,
that's a long time ago.
No,
Coke or something like that.
Okay.
I don't even know what that was. Did they did? That must have been after.
Was it an Umbro kit?
Wait. Do they even have a sponsor? Yeah.
Oh, good question.
The multiple choice answers are. Well, firstly, it's a bit. The multiple choice answers are Budweiser, Coors, Carling.
Coors.
Of course.
Coors is the correct answer. 98 to 2003, West Ham.
Dr. Martins.
Come on! Hey, correct.
I'll let you have that, Bob.
We got three left. 2001, 2002, Fulham.
Was it pizza?
Pizza
Oh,
Hut is the correct
great.
answer.
Great
Oh,
shout, Bob.
That was
Wow.
on fire now.
Wow. 2002 to 2004, Wolves.
They even in the Prem. Right, clues.
No chance on this one.
Chris.
Blaze.
Doritos.
Doritos is the correct
Doritos.
answer. My multiple choices are going to be Pringles, Quavers, Doritos, or Monster Munch. And finally, 2001 to 2002, Man United.
ARG.
That's later.
That was way after.
2001.
2001, 2002, Man United.
Vodafone.
Vodafone is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Vodafone. That is Saint's Corner for this week.
Fainty's Corner. He's on
A throwback hitting the stuff. Bob there. Oh.
Yeah, straight in with a pizza.
It was decent kit. That.
Yeah,
I can't remember that one. I'm going to look that one up.
Was it Adidas?
Yeah, pizza up.
I can't tell you the make, to be fair. But
Oh, yeah, it was a good kit. I just looked it up. That was fucking...
If you want to Sims kit sponsor before the takeover, it was Yvonne Williams Trailers. So
I know that's in the documentary.
I just know that from for having Yvonne Williams Trailers always around me.
You rented one, did you?
No. Don't. I just don't know how to end these, actually, to be honest with you. I think we're done.
What was everyone's sponsor growing up like playing? Like, did your jersey shirts have a sponsor? Ours was the local chippy EJ Fridays.
Our training kits used to.
Oh, is it?
So, like, we had, like, training jackets that were sponsored.
Right.
Well, that was it.
One of my first ever kits we got playing at like U10, U12 were Patrick, these gold jerseys, and they were sponsored by the local slaughterhouse that was across the road.
What was it? What was his name? What was the slaughterhouse?
Was it Gwyn? Was it Gwyn Jones?
Oh, that would be sad. Just a slaughterhouse sponsor.
Dead honest.
What are they getting out of that?
Oh my
Like,
God.
what's their audience? Do you know?
Free bacon.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Old Fashioned Football Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with all your friends. We'll be back next week with more nonsense.